Here goes. Here goes. I need everybody paying attention. In case you're not paying attention, I am recording these. Completing the square. We're going to solve by completing the square. The first step, you have to remember these steps. First step is to separate the x terms and the constants. So up here, what are my x terms?
X squared and negative 6x.
Okay, we want those on one side and we want the 27 on the other side. Now, we also don't want to cause the x squared to be negative for any reason. So keep it on the side where it's positive. Okay? So we're going to move, instead, we just move the 6x.
Yeah, 6x, actually.
So we got x squared plus 6x equals 27. Very good. Now, this is a problem like we just did. We did it right now. We got a blank right here. Okay? What should we put in that blank to make it a perfect square trinomial? You said what? Plus 9. Absolutely. You guys are doing amazing right now. Plus 9. Okay? Now, we just added 9 to the left side.
Why did you add 9 to the left side?
We're trying to make a perfect square trinomial and solve by completing the square. Okay?
How did you get
9? The same way we just did it. Remember? I'm ignoring that side. I said, okay, what's half of 6? 3. 3 squared is 9. So we just add 9 to the side, right? Now, over here, we've still got the 27, but we have to do the same thing to both sides. So what do I need to do? Plus 9 over there. Okay? So now, let's rewrite this. What should I rewrite it as?
X equals
X plus 3 squared equals how much? 36. Okay. This one's going to turn out real nice because this number is a perfect square. What is the opposite or inverse operation to a square? I heard one person say it. Now I heard more people whisper it. Everybody, what's the opposite of a square? Opposite operation to square? No.
triangle this.
See, I've told people I get to kick them in the face when they tell me triangle. Okay? No, not triangle. The opposite operation to a square is a square root. Square root. So I need to take the square root of each side right now. A square root and a square do what to each other?
Cancels them out.
Gone. So we have x plus 3 on the left side. Equals. What is the square root of 36?
36. 6. Crap, I said it wrong.
Okay. Now, fair warning for everybody who said 6. You are only half right. Plus or minus 6.
Because you don't know if it's a positive or a negative.
Correct. So now we have to do x plus 3 equals 6. And we have to do x plus 3 equals negative 6. Okay, these are, remember how we've been getting 2 answers all the time? This is continued. We're getting 2 answers, okay? So we're going to subtract 3 from each side on both of them. And we get x equals 3 and x equals negative 9. These are my solutions. They are my x-intercepts. They are my roots. And what's the other name? Louder? They are my zeros. Okay, these are all of those. These are all the same thing we've been doing, okay? So now we need to solve another one. We do it very similarly, only this one's a little bit harder. You guys ready for it? Here's the deal. Look at, it's already gathered the variables on one side. And what we need to do is we need to factor out. We're not going to factor out the x. We're just going to factor out the ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, the coefficient of x squared. We have to factor it out. What is the coefficient of x squared? 2. Anytime there's a number in front of the x squared, you must factor that number out.
So it's just going to be
So we're going to have 2 times x squared plus,
8.
not 8,
X.
4x.
5.
We're going to have a blank here equals 12. Now, you guys should be able to immediately say what goes in the blank. Not 16, no? What's half of 4? What is 2 squared? Plus 4. Now, we just added 4 inside the parentheses. Does that mean we added 4 to the equation on the left side? No, it doesn't. It means we added 4 inside the parentheses. How much did we really add? Nope.
0.
No, we added a number.
No, but we're multiplying them by 2, though. That's
Multiplying it by 2. How much is that?
8.
8. We just added 8 to the left side. So what do we need to add to the right side?
8.
That's right. Anytime, I'm going to put it like this, 2 times 4. So you realize it's the 2 times the 4. Okay?
You confused, right? So wait.
You told me we're doing it twice.
I assume because multiplication is like the same thing as addition.
Okay? Well, because we see how we added the 4 here?
Yeah.
Well, we had the 2 outside. That means 2 times the 4, right? Which is the 8. That's why we're doing plus 2 times 4 right here. Okay? All right. Now, we can say 2, and we know what that comes out to. And that's 20 over there. What comes out right here? X plus what? I don't think it's a 4 there. What was b divided by 2? 2, right? So 2 goes here. All right, we got to get to the parentheses. What's in front of the parentheses? This is 2 times the parentheses. How do we get rid of that 2? Huh? This is 2 times everything in parentheses. So how do we get rid of the 2? Divide by 2. Divide by 2 on both sides. It's gone there. So we get x plus 2 squared equals 10. Now, this comes to that point that we came to a little bit ago where I said, what is the inverse operation to a square?
Triangle.
And then I get to kick you in the face. Okay, what is the inverse operation to a square? Square. Good, thank you. Square root. Okay? Yes, you may. Obviously, guys, I'm not going to kick anybody in the face. X plus 2 equals the square root of 10. Is there a square root of 10? No. Now, is it just the square root of 10, or is it the positive and the negative square root of the 10? So don't forget to put a plus or minus whenever you can't get the square root. I am not going to do anything special to that square root because it comes out to ugly numbers that I don't want to deal with. When it comes out to 3.15678, whatever, I don't care. You're not going to put that down. You're going to leave it square root of whatever number it is.
You was right.
There should be a note right over there. Okay, so now, how do I solve this equation? What do I have to move? I'm trying to get to the x. What do I move? Minus 2, right? So we get x equals negative 2, and then what? No, what did we have over here? Plus or minus the square root of 10. This is 2 answers. This is minus 2 plus the square root of 10. It's also minus 2 minus the square root of 10. 2 different answers right here. And we are done. We've solved it. That's it right there. Let's keep going. All right. What do I need to move? We need to add it to both sides, right? And what else do I need to move? We need to subtract it from both sides. So I get x squared minus 9x equals 2. Okay? You guys tell me what to do. Does that help? What do I do? Louder? Plus 3? Let me change. Oh, is it actually this? X squared minus 2. Okay. So we've got a problem here. Do you see what the problem is? The 9, when we divide it, it's what? It's a decimal, right? So it comes out to what? Comes out to what? 9 over 2, right? 9 over 2. So we're actually going to put plus 9 over 2 what? What do we always do to that number? We always square it. So we put plus 9 over 2 squared right there. So I can rewrite it as x squared. Let's just rewrite it, okay? Equals 2. We added 9 over 2 here, so we have 9 over 2 squared there. So we have to add 9 over 2 squared on the right side. I'm going to put 81 over 4 on the right side, okay? Because of this, we have to add this over here. All right? Now, instead of having squared that out, I can keep it that way to recognize what's going to go right here. Minus what? 9 over 2. We can just leave it like that. All right? So, and then here we have 81 over 4 plus 2. So we're adding 8 over 4. We're actually adding 8 over 4 plus 81 over 4. Alexia? Okay. So this is actually 89 over 4. Right? So we got x minus 9 over 2 squared equals 89 over 4. All right, what are we going to do? What's the last step here? Do what? We got to get to that x. What do we need to do? Square root of both sides. Okay? So you get x minus 9 over 2 equals the square root of 89. And then it's actually over 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. All right? And now what do we have to do? We should probably put a plus and minus here, you said? Okay. Now, how do I get rid of the 9 over 2? This is minus 9 over 2, so we do what?
Add it.
Add 9 over 2 to both sides. Okay, so check this out. This is one of the more annoying problems that we would have. We have x equals, we had 9 over 2, plus or minus the square root of 89 over 2. So we can combine this to x equals, let's combine the denominator since they're the same. Let's put it all over the same denominator. Put 9 plus or minus the square root of 89 over 2. And that is 2 answers because we got the plus or minus there. Okay? So that got real annoying real fast with those fractions. But we worked our way through it. We got one more to go. Did you guys write that one down? Questions on that one? I know it got more complicated, but we did all the same exact steps. So we're ready for the next one? Okay. All right. It's all set up. What do we need to pull out right now? What do we need to do? What did I say if there's any number next to the x squared? Louder? Factor it out. So we have to factor out a what? So we got 3 times, what's in the parentheses still? X squared minus 8x. And we got to put our line equals 27. All right. What goes on that line right there? That's what we've been working on. Come on, guys. That's what we did. We did this a lot, and you guys got it real fast. 16? 16? So we do plus 16, and we got that by doing minus 8 divided by 2 and squaring it. Remember? All right. So now we have, did we just multiply by 16? Did we just add 16? I'm sorry? Mm-hmm. No, we added a lot more than 16. How many 16s did we add? 3 of them. What is 3 times 16? 48? Okay, so if we add 16 here in this parentheses, then we have to add 3 times 16 over here. Okay? So now we have 3. It was a perfect square trinomial. 48 plus 27. What did you get for 48 plus 27? What's that? I didn't hear you. 75? Okay, good job. Okay, now, what goes inside of here? X minus. Are we going to put a 16 there? Is it 4? Yes, it's 4. X minus 4 goes inside of there. Okay, let's move on. We got just the last step here, and that is to divide by what? Divide by 3. Divide by 3, that's gone. This was a good one because we're going to get a perfect square here. That's 25 equals x minus 4 squared. Next step, square root, both sides. So you get x minus 4 equals plus or minus 5. You guys still taking notes? Come on, still taking notes. All right, and then we have to break it up. X minus 4 equals 5. X minus 4 equals negative 5. So, last step, and we're done. What do we do? Add 4. And we're done. So we get x equals 9 and x equals negative 1. Those are our two answers. Those are our roots. Those are our solutions. Those are our x-intercepts. Those are our zeros. Okay? I heard you say that's a lot of work. That's exactly the same amount of work we did on another one that you guys had no problem with. I think that rather than saying it's a lot of work, you're just kind of dragging because it's a lot of time doing these notes. Okay?